Hello, everyone. Welcome to my channel. I'm Isabel, the Starlight Witch, and today, in Guided by Your North Star, we're going to do a reading about your love life. So, before we begin, I want to do a couple of disclaimers, okay? The first one is that this is a reading for the collective. In other words, is not done with any specific person in mind, so please take whatever resonates and leave out the rest. And I will try to be as expansive as I can with all of the messages, but again, this is not made for any single person in particular. So if it doesn't resonate with you, don't force it, don't try to make it fit whatever is going on in your life. Your message might be on a different pile. Okay? If you do want to book a personal reading, my details are in the description box. But for now, I have pre-pulled some oracle cards for three different piles. This is pile number 1, pile number 2, and pile number 3. So take a deep breath, look at the images on the top of the cards, and see which one of them calls out to you. Not necessarily because the image is the most visually attractive, but because there is something that called to you in that image on that card. Okay? Timestamps for all three different piles will be on the description box, and I will see you all in your reading. Okay, if you chose pile number 1, this is your message. This card here also does have a message in the back, but we're going to read it at the very end of this message. Okay? For now, we are going to put it here. And I've pre-pulled these three oracle cards, but I have not seen them yet. We're going to discover them together. And these cards are about the current state of your love life. So let's see. We have Fawn, people pleaser, codependent, validation. Interesting. Parenting, children, inner child healing, and guidance. And butterflies, crush, new love, or catching feelings. So I'm getting different messages from all three of these cards. We could have here someone who is currently in a relationship, but perhaps you are feeling a bit lonely, a bit left out in that relationship. You may be seeking a lot of validation, you may be needing a lot of reassurance from your partner, and you may be working extra time with people pleasing tendencies. These might mean that you have given up on many things that you have wanted for yourself, that you may have neglected other kinds of relationships, familial relationships, friendships, work relationships, or anything else other than your romantic relationship for this person, and that you may be going out of your way to make them happy, even sacrificing things that you need and that make you happy. Okay? You may be feeling very codependent on your partner, and this might be taking a toll on said relationship. Some of you may be parents as well. You could be also in this type of relationship, or right now, the main focus of your life could be your children, could be maybe even that you are taking care of an elder or someone that's sick, someone that needs a person to take care of them. And this might be you at this moment. And the care that you are putting towards this person might be affecting your love life. I'm getting the feeling that the person that you are caring for is not necessarily your partner, but someone outside of your relationship. This could be a parent, this could be a friend, This could be a neighbor, an acquaintance, or it could even be that you work as a nurse, that you work as a doctor, that your job is to take care of other people. Okay, so I'm getting that kind of vibe here. And if you are single, you might be someone that actually works with children. You could be a single parent, you could be a teacher, or you could just be someone that's very much in touch with your inner child, which, hello, I relate. I'm very much in touch with my own inner child, and you could be this person. You could also feel a very strong need to be in a relationship, and that is kind of sending the wrong message to the universe. Like you might be attracting uh, people to you that are not necessarily right for you because the energy that you are giving out is very needy, for a lack of a better word. I'm definitely getting the sense that there is a very strong need of wanting to be in a relationship, and that might be drawing the wrong kind of people to you. Whatever there is in your current relationship status, we have new love, catching feelings, having a crush. So if you are single, there is definitely someone that might be popping up in your life right now, or they may be already there at this moment. If you are in a relationship, especially if it has been a codependent relationship, I can see the need for reconnecting with your partner, for falling back in love with each other, for really being true to yourself here, and that these independent and true to yourself version of you needs to fall in love again with your partner and allow them to fall in love back with you. There might be some guilt here if you are a caretaker, because this is a very demanding situation, and you may be feeling guilty if you are taking care of someone that this new love, this new relationship could take some time away or some energy away from you taking care of them. Or it could be the other way around, that you feel like this is not the moment for you to enter a new relationship, that you don't have time for that crush, that you cannot afford to have feelings for someone right now because you have this job, you are taking care of someone, your children, or this relative, this friend, this sick person is actually your current priority. Okay, so there is definitely a big vibe of someone here who is emotionally unavailable for new relationships, or even for a relationship that you are currently in and that you have been in. But it is time to change that. It is time to turn a new leaf into that relationship or into that possibility. Open yourself up to love if you are not currently in a relationship, or reconnect with your partner if you are. Okay? So let's dive a little bit deeper into this. Let's see. What do you need from your love life right now? What do you need in your love life right now? Okay, butterflies. This is the Six of Cups in this deck. And it doesn't pass me by, it doesn't escape me that you have butterflies twice here in your cards. Butterflies are universally a symbol of transformation, a symbol of metamorphosis. So there is definitely a big change here, a transformation that you need. If you are in a relationship, you are in for a new chapter. And if you are not in a relationship, you do need a change in that too. Okay, so you may be reminiscing in past relationships or a past state. Ooh, okay. Yeah, you may be thinking of past relationships or a different older stage in your current relationship. You may be thinking a lot about the way that things used to be, or about the way that things were at some point with a different person. And what I'm seeing is that you need to gather the strength, the inner strength deep within you to go for that change, to go for that transformation. So, if you are currently in a relationship and you are unhappy with the state of things, if you are definitely someone who has been sacrificing things that are important to you, if you have been a people pleaser and done everything just so your partner can be more comfortable, so they can be um, happier with the things that they want, but this has meant that you have given up on things that are important to you. This needs to change. You need to go from that aspect of codependency into being more authentic to your own person, to your own needs. I can see that here very clearly. And if you are not in a relationship, if you are currently single, then you need to open yourself up to love. If you have been trapped into taking care of other people, whether that be your children or any of the possible situations that we discussed before, then this is a big call that you need to make time for yourself. You need to make time for your own wants and your own needs. And you need to give yourself the chance to experience something new, to open this door, to get that person who is also there for you. You need to not get stuck in the past, but use it as an inspiration, perhaps, for the things that you want to build in the future. Okay? Because there is definitely a transformation that needs to take place here for you. And this card tells me that you do have the strength to make it happen. There is within your toolbox all the tools that you might need to create a balance between taking care of others and having these for yourself, having these for you, and allowing your life to take a new turn, to be transformed in this new way. Okay? So let's see now what your partner or potential partner needs from you. We have the Knight of Rings, the late bloomer. Okay. This is this deck's equivalent of the Knight of Pentacles. And this is all about taking things slowly. Okay, this is about taking your time with things, of not rushing, being intentional about the things that you are doing and the things that you want, but not rushing with them. So this transformation that needs to happen, it doesn't need to take place at once. You can do this with baby steps, you can do this little by little. It doesn't have to be just a sudden um, just a sudden change for you or for others. With these cards here being in this position of what your partner needs from you, it could also be that the person that you are with is actually a caretaker. That this might not be you, but it might be your partner, whoever they are. They might be a caretaker to someone important in their lives. Okay, so this change that may have to happen doesn't necessarily come from you, but it might come from them. They are the ones who need to make space in their lives as well. Okay, and we also have rejection here. And what I'm getting from this card is that they don't need rejection. They don't need closing the door to them or to this opportunity to what you guys could be together is not what they need, and it's not what you need either. But because this is on their on their turf and what they need from you, I can see that rejection is going to be more hurtful to them at this moment in time. It could also be that they need you to reject being a people pleaser. And again, if you are the caretaker in your relationship, they might need you to put boundaries, to create boundaries in place here, and make sure that you make time for yourself and time to explore this relationship, time to invest in this person, so that setting boundaries might require you to reject other things that perhaps have been taking place up until now. Okay, so they might need you to stop your people pleasing tendencies and instead show up just the way you are. They might need you to set boundaries with whoever you might be taking care of. If you are a parent, then perhaps it is time to demand more help from your partner to be more involved with the parenting of your children. And if you are taking care of someone else, then it might be time to ask for help. It might be time to get someone who can assist you in the care of this other person. It might be time to look into childcare, to look into having nurses at home. Whatever the case that you might be facing at this moment, it's definitely time to reject the way that things have been and set up a new system, a new way of doing things. Let's see how you can communicate better and possibly deepen your relationship with your current or potential partner. Okay, and now we have the Queen of Flutes, which says the caregiver. um, Again, this is the equivalent of the Queen of Cups, and this is a nurturing person. This tells me that definitely your current or potential partner need attention from you. Like whatever has been, um, this is especially for those of you who are parenting or taking care of someone in your life. I feel like this is specifically for you, that you definitely need to pay more attention to them and spend more time with them, invest more time in your relationship, because they need you to be there with them or for them as well. For those of you who are single, this is a card that talks about taking care of your own needs. This is checking in with yourself, with the way that you feel, deciding what it is that you need or that you want in a relationship or from a relationship. Here we also have determination. So it is deciding what it is that you want and need from a relationship. It is deciding what it is that you are willing to accept, um, examining the way that you receive love, the things that you have perhaps accepted from other people in the past, but that they weren't good for you. This is not what you want going forward. So this is definitely about taking care of your own needs, taking care of yourself, nurturing yourself, spending time in your own well-being. Definitely. And this is the same thing that If you are used to being the people pleaser or codependent in your relationship, this is definitely a message to step away from that, okay? To give them space and to reconnect with yourself, to reconnect with the things that make you happy, to reconnect with the things that are only yours, things that you don't necessarily share with them, or your own passions, your own interests, your own mental and emotional needs. Where are you in your life? This is definitely saying that you need to change the focus from them to yourself. Okay, they need that space. They need that space. And determination here definitely talks about the same strength, the same, you need to make that decision. You need to be very strong in your position of, okay, I want this change to happen, I want to bring about this transformation. I need to stop being focused on them and focus on myself. I need to stop letting my position as a caregiver to someone else take over my entire life, and instead I need to allow a space for myself and a space for the ones that I love, a space for this new relationship or for a new season, a new chapter in the current relationship that you have. Okay, but definitely this calls for a very strong minded position, a very strong minded relationship. And the last question that we are going to ask here is, how can you better give and receive love in this current moment? So we have the Five of Rings, which is the equivalent of the Five of Pentacles, and it says insecure. Okay, so the first thing that came to mind is that if you are falling into people pleasing tendencies or into codependent tendencies, this usually happens because there is some kind of insecurities within yourself or within your relationship. You might be um, unsure about the place that you currently have in your partner's life, or you might be feeling particularly insecure in your own life, in your own body, in your own situation at the moment. And to me, this definitely calls for self care. This is definitely saying that what you need to do right now for yourself is to focus on yourself, to focus on working on those insecurities, because the way that we feel is always our own responsibility. You are not responsible for the way that the person that you are in a relationship with feels at the moment. Our own emotions and our own thoughts and feelings are our very own responsibility. So, this is definitely a moment for you to take care of yourself, to give and receive love. The best thing that you can do right now is focus on your self worth, focus on your well being, focus on what your wants and needs are at the moment. So there needs to be some sort of a moment that you give yourself to figure out where you are in relation to all of that in this moment. How are you feeling within yourself, in your body, in your relationship? How are you feeling that your partner is responding to you or not, right? And to better give and receive love in your life, whether you are in a relationship or not, right now is to focus on yourself. If you are, however, in a relationship and you are a caretaker, the thing that came to mind with this aspect is that your partner might be feeling like they don't have a secure place in your life, right? They may be feeling rejection, like we saw here. So they need something different from you. They need you to spend time with them so they feel like they are important in your life too. They need to feel like, even though your priorities might be in a different place for understandable circumstances, they are still someone important for you in your life. Okay, so in this case, what they actually need from you is a little bit of reassurance to make sure that they know how important they are to you, and therefore they can lose that sense of insecurity within your relationship. We also have sweetness, which not only it relates to this idea of a new crush, of a new relationship, of something that's coming in, but also with the Six of Cups here, it talks about like if you have been in a relationship for a long time, it might be time to go back to some of the things that you used to do at the beginning of your relationship, right? Part of that getting to know each other, of bringing in that sweetness, the details, the good stuff that usually happens mostly at the beginning. And then once the dust settles, when we get used to each other and all that kind of stuff, they kind of tend to go a little bit to the wayside. So these is definitely a call to go back to those beautiful things, to go back to that time, to those ideals, to all of that good stuff. So to bring back the sweetness, the tenderness, and just the joy that usually comes at the beginning of all relationships. Okay? So let's grab a last message. Okay, and it's a very fitting one. It says, everyone is doing their best. There are really only two types of people, those you now love and those you will love, until there's only one type of person, and then we'll probably hit replay. I like that. And I think it's a very poignant reminder that there is no sense, there is no point on trying to find a guilty party, a guilty person in anything that happens in your relationship, because you have been doing your best. If you have fallen into people pleasing tendencies, you were doing what you thought was best at the moment. If you have paid more attention to your children or to someone who is under your care, you were doing what you thought was right at the time. And even if things have not gone ideally, even if this has taken a toll in your romantic relationship, mistakes are always made, because at the end of the day, we are all human. So you or your partner have just been doing what they thought was best. But now that you have a clear vision on the current situation, you can make the changes that are called upon at the moment. Okay? And the last message here says, look deep within your heart and you will feel my love. My love for you is as deep as the ocean. I love that. This feels particularly poignant if you have been in a long-term relationship, if you have been with your partner for a while. This is definitely a clear sign for me that that love has not faded. Okay, that love is still there, and with the right changes, the right adjustments to your day-to-day life, you can go back to the best moments of your relationship. Okay, I definitely have that vibe. With the butterflies card here, I do get the vibe of falling back in love with your partner. Same with the Six of Cups. There is a sense of going back to what was. Yeah, I'm getting really, really great vibes from this whole reading. I hope that this has helped you in any way, shape, or form, that you have found something of value, and that this will help you understand what's going on in your love life in a clear way and try to make the adjustments and the changes that might be necessary for you. Only you know what those really are. Okay, so thank you for being here. Thank you for listening. I hope that this helped you. And if you want to book a reading, please remember that my details are in the description box. If you would like to support me as a creator, my coffee link is also in the description box. And whatever happens, I wish you all the best and I hope to see you again very soon. Bye bye. If you chose pile number 2 or this image right here, then this is your reading. This card also contains a message in the back of the card, but we are going to read that at the very end of your message. In the meantime, we're just gonna leave it here. So I've pre-pulled 3 oracle cards that talk about the current state of your love life. I have not seen them. We are going to discover them together. And yep, let's just see what your current love life is like. We have a reconciliation, reunion, resolution, forgiveness. I like that. Fight, anger, aggression, and confrontation. Okay. Freeze, shutting down, numb, or stuck. Wow. Okay. There is definitely a clear message right here. So you might be having trouble in paradise in your love life, especially if you are actually in a current relationship. I can see that you might have been going through a rough patch. There might have been a lot of fighting, a lot of avoiding things, and hopefully working towards a reconciliation. If you are single, it might have been that you've just left, or maybe not just, but that you left at some point in your life, that your last relationship was actually a very negative one, that there were loads of fights or lots of avoidance, and it left you with a very bad taste in your mouth. So you find yourself a little bit bitter and jaded when it comes to love and relationships, and this has completely frozen your love life at the moment, and you are hoping to reconcile with love altogether and hopefully try again with someone new. Okay, so I'm definitely getting a lot of conflictive energy right now, and let's see how we can work through it. Okay, so the first thing that we are going to ask is, what do you need from your love life in the current moment? What do you need from your love life right now? So, this deck is actually inspired by The Bachelor TV show. So, we have the host here. But traditionally, this card is called the Hierophant. And this is a card that's all about tradition and teaching, mentors. Um, and what I'm getting is probably advice from an elder or therapy. Definitely therapy. If you are going through a tough patch in your relationship, this is definitely the moment to start looking into therapy. Okay? Things might have gone, yeah. Things might have gone to a point where you don't feel like you guys can work this out on your own, and you might need the assistance of someone else. Okay, someone who is clearly well versed in this matter, someone who knows what they're doing, and these yeah, I definitely see it as a therapist. It is time for you to start looking into counseling, into that kind of stuff. Even if you are single, what I can see here is that you may still um, carry with you a lot of relationships, a lot of issues from your past relationships, a lot of resentment, a lot of baggage from the things that have happened to you in the past in previous relationships. And I definitely see like you need to start unpacking that along with someone that definitely knows how to help you process all of the things that have happened in previous relationships. And if you are currently in a relationship, definitely someone who knows how to unpack all the things that are currently happening in your relationship. Okay. So, with a stop here, I'm getting to stop the fight and to stop the avoidance. Okay, if you have been become emotionally unavailable to avoid confrontation, to avoid more fights and discussions and all that kind of stuff, it's time to stop doing those things and to really tackle the issue head on. Okay, I definitely see that what you need right now is the assistance of someone who knows what they're doing. And I definitely see a therapist needed in these current moments. Now, what does your partner needs from you or your potential partner if you are single? So, this person who might be in the horizon for you, what do they need from you right now? Okay, so we have the Two of Mirrors, which is traditionally the Two of Swords, and it says two on a one. And we definitely, again, once more, get the image of two kangaroos fighting. So there's definitely a lot of conflict here. There is a lot of conflict. And with the Two of Mirrors here, we get a choice. You can choose to continue the way that you have been, and probably this will not end well for your relationship, or it might drag on for a number of time, a number of years even. Or you can choose to try and deal with these head on and hopefully, maybe, recover your relationship or make it even better, because it doesn't escape me how the initial image that we had for your pile is of two very loving people. So maybe that's how it all started, but now it's definitely not the way that it's going. And we have faith. With this card, I'm definitely getting the impression that there is a strong possibility that if you do the work that needs to happen, there is a good chance for reconciliation. Okay, you have this very loving couple as the main image for your pile. You have the card of reconciliation with resolution and forgiveness. So you need to have faith. You need to approach these possible solution, this idea of getting counseling, getting therapy. Sorry, with the intention that there is a good chance that you could save this relationship, that you could get back what it is that you lost, that whatever happened that brought you to this place, you can get through it. Okay? And maybe getting back what was lost is not the right word, but just work through it and get to a point, get to a new stage into your relationship where you both can be happy. With these two cards here, And even this one, because even though the two kangaroos here are fighting, the Two of Swords is a card of choice, of making a decision. So you could choose to stay in the fight, or you can choose to fight for reconciliation. The two possibilities are there, and the outcome of these will definitely depend on the choices that you make. But if you do want to get to reconciliation, you need to have faith that you guys can do it, okay? Your what your partner needs from you right now is to make the decision, to have faith in your relationship, and to work towards that reconciliation. Now, let's see how can you communicate better and possibly deepen your relationship with your partner. Um, oh yeah, I forgot to mention that if you are single, this also applies. You could have you have in front of you the choice on whether you stay bitter and angry and emotionally unavailable, or if you decide that you want a better future for yourself in which a new person can come and you can be happy in a new relationship, okay? You could reconciliate with love and relationships themselves if you have faith that you can do this. Okay, but you need to make the decision that you don't want to be angry, you don't want to be bitter anymore, and you want to leave that behind you. Okay, so how can you communicate better and possibly deepen your relationship with your partner or potential partner? Okay. We have Keep It Chill, which traditionally is the Temperance card. Okay, this card is all about alchemy. It's about how combining different elements, you can create something new, you can create something better, even. Is the process on how you can turn regular metals into gold, right? And it also talks about moderation. With that phrase, keep it chill, definitely I can see that tempers need to be kept in check between the two of you. Of course, it needs to be a mutual effort, it needs to be a collaborative effort. Yet this has to come from both of you. And considering that temperance is that alchemical process, I can see that between all the fire that all of these fights have generated between you, there is a good chance that you can turn it into something great. Okay, these could be transformed into something that works a lot better for both of you. And we also have the card of anxiety. What I'm hearing as well is that there needs to be an open channel of communication. The effort that might have to be put into setting these right, into working towards that reconciliation might give you anxiety. The road to recovery is never straight. It tends to be a very tangled line. There has to be patience, there has to be room for error. It doesn't have to be perfect. Okay? And you can definitely communicate your feelings to your partner, even if those feelings are of anxiety. Okay, you may be feeling anxious or whether or not you're going to be successful in this endeavor, but for what I can see here, there is definitely a pretty good chance if you believe that you can do it. Okay, so even if it gives you anxiety, even when it gives you anxiety, try to keep it chill. Try to keep it under control, because I can see that there is a huge opportunity for success here. Okay? So communicate your feelings, and whenever things get a little bit out of control, try to temper that down. Just try to get it under control. And the last thing that we're going to ask here is how you can better give and receive love right now. Okay. We have the Six of Rings, which are the pentacles in this deck, with quality time. And yes, I can definitely see it. It might be that all the conflicts that have been going on in your relationship have brought you apart, and you haven't really spent any time together doing the things that matter to you, doing the things that you love. Or it might be just talking about the time that it will take to do the therapy, to do the counseling, to do um, the things that you have to do to get back to each other, or to better understand each other. So, this is definitely about choosing to give this process the time that it deserves. Okay, sorry, but I have to laugh. I'm sorry, I did not mean to laugh, but I can't help it. So, of course, we have frustration. And this totally reminds me of what I just said on how recovery and healing is not a straight line, but rather a very all over the place kind of timeline, a process, right? So there will be moments in which you will be frustrated with each other, or in which you will be frustrated of how long this process is taking, or there might be times where you might feel like this is not worth it, like you don't need this anymore. And that's fair. That's fair, and it's up to you to decide what it is best for you. That's the only thing that I can say. Only you know what is best for you. However, with the card of reconciliation here at the back, I do feel like this is worth saving, and that it's definitely savable. I don't know if that's a word. English is not my first language, but it can be saved. This relationship can be saved if you decide to push through, if you decide to give it the time and the effort that it requires. Okay? I did forget to talk about single people before, how to communicate and deepen your relationship with a potential partner. And I can definitely see here that if you are single, what you need to do is allow yourself the time that it takes to go through the process, because it's not easy to be back on the dating pool. And right now, said dating pool is actually not fantastic. So, of course, these can give you anxiety. These may make you feel very vulnerable, but just know that if you stick with it, you have the possibility of getting something great out of this. With here, if you are single, I am getting that there will be points when this will feel very frustrating. When this will feel like there are too many frogs out there that you may have to kiss before you get to the prince, sort of speak. This reading is for everyone, no matter your identity or sexuality. So that's just an expression. But if you give yourself the time not only to work through all the issues that you are currently facing, but also if you give yourself the time and the opportunity to try again. Even if the process is frustrating, there is a very good chance here for something really good to come out of it. Okay? So let's close your reading with a final message. Okay. And we have a start where you are. Yeah. The great thing about feeling deep, profound, earth shaking love is that you can start with anyone. Next. Yeah. So, from this message, what I get is that there is no better time than the present. Whatever it is that you want to do, if you want to reconcile with your partner and recover, save this relationship, you can start where you are. If you want to open yourself up to future partners and opportunities in love, you can start where you are. You don't have to wait until things get better or until things get worse. You are just at the right place at the right time to work this through. Okay? No matter what happens, start where you are. This is the moment. Don't leave it for later. Don't wait till next year or next month or anything. This is the time to start working through your issues. Okay? Now let's read the message in the back here. When it comes to matters of the heart, there is no right or wrong. Every choice you make expands your understanding of life and love. Very fitting. So, again, all I can do is tell you what I see here in the cards, but only you know what is best for you. If you decide that the current relationship that you're in is not worth the trouble and you prefer to start over, then that is also the right thing to do. Okay? If you made mistakes and you come from previous relationships that were horrible for you at the time, it's time to stop punishing yourself for allowing those things to happen or for falling for that person or for believing in that person or whatever. Stop blaming yourself and instead try to see it as a lesson that you needed to learn just so that doesn't happen to you again in the future. So, whatever choice you make, you have choices. Remember, Two of Swords, you have choices. Whatever choice you make, it's okay. Only you know what is best for you. If you do want to save your current relationship, then I wish you all the very best. I can see here that there is a good chance for that to be saved, although, of course, it needs to have a lot of patience and a lot of effort put into it. There needs to be counseling and therapy involved and mutual interest on making these happen, but that is definitely a very strong possibility. Okay? And if you want to heal whatever happened to you in the past just so you can be open for love in the future, I cannot see any negative outcome that could possibly come out of that. Only good things. So I wish you all the best. I hope that you found something useful in this reading, something that resonated with you, that you can use this information to make the right decisions or to enact the right changes, plan for the future that you want to have. If you want to book a private reading, that is definitely an option. My details are in the description box. Also, if you would like to support me as a creator, my Coffee link is also in the description box. And whatever happens, I just wish you the best and I hope to see you again soon. Bye bye. If you chose pile number 3 or this beautiful image right here, then this is your reading. This card actually contains a message in the back, but we are going to read it at the very end of your message, and in the meantime, we're just gonna leave it here. Now, I've pre-pulled three oracle cards to answer the question of where you are right now in your love life. I have not looked at them. We are going to discover them together. So let's have a look at the current state of your love life. Ooh, like honey, sex, pleasure, physical touch, family, roots, family dynamics, tradition. Nice. Repair, healing, renewal, rebuilding. All right. Well, so far, all three of the piles have had very, very different energies. And this is very nice. Okay. The first thing that comes to mind is that this person may not necessarily be in a romantic relationship at the moment, but focused on other things. Okay. You may be focused right now on enjoying the single life, on enjoying having sexual encounters with no compromise, no strings attached. You may be focused right now in your family, as in your parents, your grandparents, your siblings, your cousins, nieces and nephews, everyone else. These extended family, this larger family may be your focus at the moment, or you may be wanting to start a family. Okay, but there is something here that needs repair, that needs healing. So it might be that your birth family is going through some issues that need some mending, that need some time, some effort, some healing put into them. And these might be your focus. And when it comes to your romantic or, well, yeah, your romantic love life, whatever, you might be just enjoying the single life, enjoying having sexual encounters with no strings attached. If you are in a relationship, however, it could be that you have been in that relationship for so long that maybe you have lost a little bit that fire of the sexual connection, and instead that needs to be repaired. Maybe you have been focused on raising your family, on tending to your family, your children, your parents, or whatever, that you have lost that spark, you have lost that connection here, and there is some work that needs to be done around it. Okay, so perhaps there isn't exactly trouble in paradise like pile number two or even pile number one. Maybe you are enjoying of a very stable relationship. You are enjoying healthy relationship that is not going through any particular conflicts, but they may be a lack of a spark here. I'm also getting that there might be someone or someone's here that might be in a no strings attached relationship with someone, but they would like to turn it into something more. Okay, it might be that you are wanting to um, build a family, yeah, to start your own family, and you kind of need to repair your ideas or your expectations from that relationship, right? It might be that you thought that you would never get married for whatever reason. Maybe you never wanted to get married, or maybe the things that have happened to you or for you in the past have made you believe that these will never happen for you. So maybe there could be a number of beliefs and ideas that need to be dealt with so you can go from here to here if that is something that you desire. Okay, so let's have a deeper look at all of these issues. And the first thing that we're going to ask is, what do you need in your love life or from your love life right now? Okay. The first card that we have here is the advisor. Traditionally, this card is known as the high priestess. And this is a card all about intuition, all about going within, listening to yourself. So I can definitely see here that what you need is to figure out what you want going forward. Okay, you need to consult with yourself, spend some time in self reflection, listen to the things that your body and your mind and your heart are telling you right now. And yeah, sorry. Sometimes I have to laugh. If I had tried to do this on purpose, it wouldn't have come out so perfectly. But yes, you need to listen to yourself, to your intuition right now. Your mind, your body, your spirit are trying to tell you things and they need you to listen. Okay? So sit down and do some journaling, or meditation if you are into that kind of stuff. Listen to yourself, listen to what your needs are. Okay? So if you have been enjoying the single life but you find yourself wanting more, then start asking yourself what it is that you really want. Because, well, this is 2026 and not all families are the same, not all families have to look the same. You don't necessarily have to get married or have children. You don't even have to move in together if you don't want to. So whatever this idea of family looks like for you, it might be a good moment to ask yourself that question, to ask yourself what it is that you are really craving at this moment, what it is that you feel like you want, that you need, that you definitely want to bring into your life. Okay, with the advisor here, I'm getting also the idea of talking about these issues with someone that you really trust. It could be your best friend, it could be a parental figure, your mom, your dad, a grandparent as well. They are full of wisdom and knowledge and experience. So if you find a little bit difficult to figure out the things that you really want and need, it might be worth discussing with someone that knows you very well and that you really trust. Okay, but I can definitely see the need of reevaluating what it is that you want in your love life because things might be changing. I can definitely see a lot of change here. Definitely look into that. If, on the other hand, you are in a relationship and you miss the spark and you miss sassiest, juiciest aspect of it, the sexy times, then it might be a question here. It might be time to sit with yourself and ask what has changed? What do I need now? What do I want from my partner? How can I reconnect with this aspect of myself or with this aspect of our relationship? Because there is a lot of avenues, there is a lot of things that you could do to fix that issue. And I'm not gonna go into that. I'm definitely not the person to give advice on that matter. But there are definitely people out there who you can consult as well, if need be. Maybe start looking into that if this is something that you need, or you might find ideas or something in a book or in a counseling session, even some movies. I don't know. There are many options that you could consult to find a solution for this. Okay, but I can definitely see the need for reevaluation, for consulting with yourself. What are the things that you want and need going forward? So let's look now into what your partner or potential partner needs from you at this time. And we have the Page of Flutes here, which is traditionally the Page of Cups, and we have the Daydreamer. I love that. This is definitely about inspiration. Okay, so if you are single and, like I said, enjoying the single life, but you find yourself wanting more, this is also a card that tells me that you need to open yourself up to the possibilities, because the right partner for you might actually not be that far away. And what they need from you right now is, again, to open yourself up to the possibilities, right? Start imagining what it is that could happen if you gave it the chance. What could be if you just allowed yourself, oh, okay. But yeah, if you just allowed yourself to be. Sadness now. Well, that definitely brings me back to this card of repair. Okay, so there might be an issue here, maybe something that happened in the past, and given that this card in particular is on this position of what your partner or potential partner needs from you, this definitely brings me back to this idea of repair, of healing, of rebuilding, renewal. It might be that this was a person in your life that came to you in the past, but this didn't happen for whatever reason. Maybe the circumstances just weren't there, or maybe you weren't ready, maybe they weren't ready. Um, but there is something in there. And with Mercury coming up retrograde very soon, this might be someone coming from the past, someone who is sad that you didn't give them the opportunity to be this partner, to be together in a more committed relationship, and maybe even start a family or be part of a family of some kind. If you, however, are in a long term relationship or in a committed relationship, there is definitely, again, something that talks about pain from the past. Was there a situation, a circumstance? There might have been something at some point that actually affected your sexy times, that spark. Was there something that rained on your parade? Something that maybe was maybe to blame for the loss of that spark? I definitely, with these cloud imagery, I get the idea of rain, of the water actually fizzling out the spark, maybe. So there might be something in there that needs to go through these process so you can get the spark back. Okay, so or maybe there is something that is happening in their lives that doesn't necessarily have anything to do with you, but that you can help them heal it. Okay, you could be a support for them, because at the end of the day, we are all the product of everything that happens in every area of our lives, and if something is wrong in their extended family, or if something is wrong in their friendships, or if something is going wrong at work, then these actually might be affecting their relationship with you. Okay, both in the bedroom department and in any other aspect as well. But with this card here, I'm very inclined to see the bedroom department being brought up at the moment in here. So if you need to be a support for your partner, maybe they need you right now to support them in other areas so they can heal from whatever has happened and get back to the fun times. Okay? So Now let's see how can you better communicate and possibly deepen your relationship with your partner or potential partner. Yeah, the two of flutes, traditionally the two of cups, and it says cheers. And it's all about celebration. It's all about that connection, spending time with each other, remembering what brought you together in the first place. If you are single, this could be just enjoying whatever brings you together in your encounters, the things that keep drawing you to each other, leaning into that connection, leaning into the emotions, leaning into the things that bring you together. Okay? And with this card, rejection. Um, yeah, definitely what I get is don't reject these. Okay? Stop. Um, I'm definitely getting the vibe that there's someone here who has not wanted to commit to relationships before. You have been happy just being single, just having occasional sexy times, and that's that. Enjoying the no strings attached lifestyle. And you might be rejecting going deeper. You might be rejecting asking for more or getting more, giving more to that person or from that person as well. So don't reject what's there between you. Don't reject the connection, the sparks, the everything that is there that has brought you together, because you have a great potential here to get a lot more from that. And again, it doesn't have to look exactly the way that we have been taught in the past that families look like or that relationships look like. These could be anything. But don't close yourself to the possibility, right, that these could be more. It could definitely be more, whatever more looks like for you. So open yourself up to that possibility and start imagining how does that idea of more looks like for you. Sit down with a journal. Okay, go within because the option is there. The option is definitely there. And again, if you are in a relationship, if you are already in a partnership, you might be again facing rejection or sexy times are not happening because of whatever your partner is facing. I feel like it's definitely time to put that connection into priority, okay, to avoid not facing the situation because of whatever they might be dealing with, of whatever they might be going through. Lean into your connection once more. Avoid rejecting them for feeling down or avoid rejecting dealing with the situation because you might be needing something more. Okay, your connection demands that emotional connection, demands that you deal with this issue instead of ignoring it. Definitely. And the last thing that we're going to ask now is how you can better give and receive love in your life at this moment. Okay, so we have here the Seven of Roses with drama. Traditionally, this is the Seven of Wands. And there is definitely a sense of protection, whether that be protecting yourself, protecting your interests, or protecting your partner. You might be feeling defensive, okay? If you find yourself wanting something that you never thought you would want or that you never wanted in the past, you might be feeling protective of that older version of yourself. Okay. Success. I love it. So, yes, you might be feeling a little bit protective, and that's okay. That's definitely okay. If your partner is going through something that makes them, um, that maybe someone wronged them, maybe someone has been the cause of whatever it's making them feel down, then you might also be protective of them. But this card tells me that the drama needs to go out the door, needs to be left behind. Okay? So you need to go back to basics. You need to go back to focusing on that connection, focusing on the spark, focusing on your desires, on your dreams, on what it is that you want, and leave the drama out the door. It's not necessarily a good time to be defensive, and what your partner needs is a support system, a supportive person by their side rather than someone going up in arms for them. So the key to your success, to give and receive love, is to leave the drama out the door. You can stay firm in your position, avoid getting into conflicts. And as I was shuffling the last couple of cards as well, I definitely got the sense, the idea that maybe you are someone who is discovering a new aspect to your sexuality. Maybe you have only been in straight relationships in the past. Now that we talk about tradition, one of the keywords of the family card, and suddenly you have found your sexuality um, fluctuating, changing, flowing, um, becoming something new, right? So these might as well be something that you are struggling with. Maybe your partner is sad because, or your potential partner is sad because you are not giving each other the chance to be because of those preconceived ideas or the traditional way that you have been raised, or maybe your family being extremely traditional and you need to repair your relationship with your own sexuality, with even the ideas that your and the openness that your family may have to something different, right? And you need to stop rejecting that connection just because it's not something that you thought you wanted or that you had in the past. Okay, so it is definitely very, very important that you go within, that you check with yourself the way that you feel, because someone here who maybe was straight in their love life in the past may not be anymore. I can sense the fluctuating sexuality here, definitely. Okay, and you could succeed in a very happy love life if you give yourself the chance to be who you are at this moment. Okay, maybe you need to repair your relationship with your own sexuality. Maybe you feel like you could be endangering your familial relationships if you give yourself the chance to go into this new venture, these new type of relationships. You only get one life, so it might be a good idea to focus on what you want and what you need rather than other people. Okay, so let's close up your reading with one last message. Okay, and we have those you love you. To be beautiful in the eyes of another, simply forget they're watching. And yeah, I get it. So, if you are the kind of person who is single at the moment and enjoying the single life, but you are finding yourself wanting something more, something else, something different, I would say that it's definitely important that you give yourself the opportunity because this potential partner, this potential person that you might share your life with, actually really cares about you. Okay? And the opinions of others don't matter. You could be currently missing out on something that could be very special, because I do feel like the love is there, the interest is there, the connection, everything that you are looking for is there waiting for you. So I would say, do not worry about the opinions of others, because there's definitely something very great waiting for you there as well. I feel like this message also applies if you are someone discovering that your sexuality is fluctuating, is changing, or whatever. I feel like this message also applies to you. You might be worried about what your family or your friends or anyone else in your life thinks about you, but I think the message is very clear. Those you love you. The important people in your life won't care about that. So I would say that the message here is to live your life as you feel is right for you. And if you are in a long standing relationship, I think that this is a reminder that even after all this time, for however long you've been together, the love is still there, the connection is still there, even if the spark has been temporarily lost, even if your focus has been on taking care of the family or dealing with other issues, the love is still there. Okay? Your partner is still with you because they care about you, no matter how long it's been. So that was a beautiful reading, and I think it's time. No, Billy! Oh my gosh. Kitty saying, hello, Billy, back off. No, not on the table. Thank you. Bye. Okay, awesome. So it's time to read the message that is in the back of this card, and let's see what it says. Don't make decisions based on guilt or what you think you should do, for it is only in being true to yourself that you can be true to others. Bam! Sorry, but I feel like that is a reinforcement of everything that I've been saying so far. This isn't about what other thinks is best for you, or what others want you to have, or what others expect from you. This is about you and what would make you happy. Okay? Remember, go within, checking with yourself, checking where you are, where you stand in all these issues, because this is about your happiness. And we have the card of success here. You have every chance to be happy, really. You have everything you need for a happy relationship here. Okay, so I hope that you enjoyed this reading, that you found something that really resonated with you and that helped you in any way, shape, or form. If you did, please like and subscribe if you'd like to see more comments from me, more content from me. And if you would like to book a personal reading, my details are on the description box. If you would like to support me as a creator, my coffee link is also in the description box. And in the meantime, I hope to see you again soon. Thank you so much. Bye bye.